هذا البرنامج برعاية
الو ابو يوسف، مساك الله بالخير.
مساك الله بالنور يا ابو جاسم، شلونك؟ شخبارك؟
زين الحمد لله، انت شخبارك؟
الحمد لله. حياك، بكره عندنا تجمع للشباب في ملعب كرة الطائرة.
بهالسرعة حجزت؟ في وين وشلون؟
حمل تطبيق سبورتيفا وعيش حياتك صح. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Horizon's podcast program. Usually this program is in Arabic, but today we will switch to English language. And my name is Husain Yusuf from Studio Bahrain for art production. Our special guest today is Mr. Hamza Ahmed, the founder of Sportiva application. Mr. Hamza, welcome to our program today.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is mine.
Mr. Hamza, could you please talk about yourself?
My name is Sayyid. I'm Sayyid Hamza. I prefer to go with Sayyid, and I prefer people calling me that because it's easier to remember, basically. Because, you know, Bahrain, there's a lot of Sayyids. Just call me Sayyid. It's easier to go with through during this podcast. I'm very young. What people call young blood. Been working almost, 7-8 years now. Most of my work experience is in the sport industry, or specifically sport business management. And I started my journey when I was 18 when I just graduated from high school. Been working through college, doing as a full-time student and as a full-time employee.
Sayyid, let's talk about your education life in school and university.
So, in Bahrain, we have two types of schools: government school and a private school.
Yes.
As you can hear and as all the audience can see, I'm speaking fully in English at this time. You might expect that I've been to a private school, but I'm sure I'm not. I've been through government school all my life. And we know how is the English education in government school. It's not that good. Very obvious, for many obvious reasons. Went to private university, which is UTB now, as known to majority of people, formerly known as AMA. After I graduated from high school, got rejected from a couple of universities here and there, and ended up with that university specifically. As it is a private school, private university, it comes with a hefty cost as well. Semesters, tuitions, registrations, all that requires you, if your family is not capable enough, or if your family is capable enough to cover these costs, you might need to find either a part-time job or a full-time job. In my case, I didn't need to get a job. My parents said, we'll cover it all. But I wanted to do it for myself. So I got a job and I went through university, and during all these years, we're going to talk about, you'll be very interested about how I managed both a full-time job and a full-time as a student. So, yeah, it is what it is. That's life. Sometimes you have to push yourself to the limit to go through a couple of years.
What are the amazing memories in studying?
Studying memories. That's not me. I don't like studying.
Oh, you don't like study?
I didn't like to study.
Why? What's the problem?
I can't remember stuff. It's not like I'd have a disease or anything. I'm not that type of a learner that goes through to remember certain certain paragraphs, sentences, information, and come and copy paste them. That's not exactly what I'm very good at. So when he goes to high school, in a government school, it's all about study, remember, and paste what you remembered from this couple of months to a year. And everybody can do that. I struggled in it. And I was more into sport during that period of time. So here and there, I was running away from classes to go play basketball, play volleyball, play football in high school. So I didn't give studying or the knowledge much attention, especially even after school hours. I just go and play basketball with one of the clubs in Bahrain after my, schooling hours is over.
So, if you don't mind, what was the worst beginning in the journey from starting up of your business?
See, tough things about business, you have to be very specific. Like, business is a complex thing, and it's a deep hole. You jump in the darkness, you go through the darkness, and there is nothing there for you. There is no safety rope. There is no guideline. There is some people talk about businesses in many different ways. If you open Instagram, if you open YouTube, you'll find a lot of people talk about business from their aspect. But what we also gonna go through a bit later on is about the business in the sport industry, which is a completely different concept. The only difficult part, if was not for me and for the knowledge I accumulated across the past few years, I would say knowledge. That's what I would say to other people. If you don't have the right knowledge, if you don't have the right resources, if your life experience have not led me to that position, basically to that point that I say, okay, I'll start this and see where it goes. It all to be honest with you, it did not take any effort. It took me 30 minutes to think about it.
Only 30 minutes?
30 minutes to think about it. I was like, I want to do this because these people do this and that, and I want 33% of the market. Couple of companies that are the same competitor has, I'll say, almost 100% of the market. So I wanted to have 33% of the market, which for a start, for a startup like Sportiva, for example, it's a huge to achieve. I have not started it yet. I haven't reached it yet. We haven't reached to that point. But to go from an idea to an action plan to execution, it took 30 minutes and one message to a developer. That's it. To get things kick started. You get the idea, you write it down, and you look what is required for it. Some of the time, or majority of the time, you don't know what's coming next. So you write the idea and you write the plan and you write the action plan, and then other things, comes from nowhere. It's like, oh, you have, for example, Apple membership, Apple verification, Google Play console verification. You need this, you need that. Now you need a domain. I need Google account. You need majority more stuff. I'm not talking about the company registration even. I'm just talking about just the product and the idea itself. So it does not take much to go from an idea to an action or to a product. Sometimes it requires a little bit of budget. You can accumulate that from here and there, and you can put it up together. Even with what we call it an MVP, a minimum valuable product or valuable product, to put an idea into life. So yeah, that's when you say about difficult thing, it was not difficult. It was just like I want to do it. What to stop you to not doing it? Easy. Yeah. Just like a podcast, for example. If you just had an idea, we'll take you one, two, three. We need to do one, two, three. I was like, who will do this? You do one, two, three, these people, and you look at the resources and you just put it to action. Voila. Then you have a podcast. Yeah. You have an idea, you can bring it to life. So what do you think?
I think, Sayed, the planning for business need long time. Do you think this is right?
In some ways, yes. In some businesses, yes. In some other businesses, it's not. See, the concept of a business, when you say a business, it has a start date and start time, but it does not exactly have an end. Okay, that's a business. When it comes to projects, that's a different thing. You have a start date and you have an end date. Okay, I just want to differentiate both of those. When you are planning to start a business, if it's a startup, planning should not take very long. Depending on the budget you have or the capital you're going to invest into that business, basically. If it's a $1 million business, then yeah, I'll say timing. If that's only budget you have is a $1 million, for example, then yeah, you'd have to put some time to do the research, the resources, the logistics, if there's a logistic, the manpower behind it. But there's some very wealthy people that's capable of dropping $1 million to say, okay, do this. There's an idea, just an idea. There's no planning in it. Just take this money, deal with it, do the research, and see if it works or not. That's if you are very wealthy. But let's say Bahrain, let's say it's a startup, let's say it's an intermediate business, for example, or medium range in that scale. No, I don't think thinking too much is good, because sometimes you get very deep into the idea and you get scared from the planning itself and you just quit. So people actually end up quitting before they even start. So where is the point in that? If you just keep thinking about starting a coffee shop and you think about the cost, the planning, the human power, the recruiting, the training, the government fees, for example, the taxation, auditing, before you even do the logo itself or have a name for your business, for example, then that would be unfortunate. A lot of people everywhere has this, especially when they are in high school or university, sorry. There's like, they graduate, you say, we want to do this, and they sit and they plan, and they just end up with huge plans. But where's the action? Everybody can plan. We can plan a hangout tomorrow. We can plan a trip tomorrow. But if we don't actually go and book the tickets and to go on a trip, it's just useless talk, I'd say.
Sayed, how do you manage between your life and your own business, in addition to working full time for a company in Bahrain as a staff?
So I'll take you back to time in university. No, I'll take you even back further in high school. In high school, I was a full-time student. Okay, I'm a school student. I finished school. I reach home. At 3:30. Okay, I live in the other side of Bahrain, next to the causeway, Saudi Causeway, that area. And the school we go to is in middle of Manama, in Hura. And the bus takes almost, during normal busy hours, it's almost an hour to an hour 30 minutes sometimes to reach home. after high school. The minute I get off the high school bus, I grab the gym bag, which is my um, basketball gym clothes and shoes, and I jump to the second bus, which is the club bus. Jump to the bus. We go to the basketball club or the sport club. Train there. We finish around 7:30. 7:30. The bus will technically drop me back home. And when the bus dropped me back home, I take a bicycle. Back to the gym to do weightlifting. And I had to cycle almost 6 to 8 kilometers one way and the way back. So total, let's say 12 to 16 kilometers, basically going to the gym and coming back home on a bicycle. Does not matter which day it is. It does not matter how is the weather, if the sandstorm, if it's raining, if it's cold, or if it is summer. So I finished school and basketball practice. Now I do cycling to the gym. I do a heavy workout, then come back home, eat, have some time to study also, do some homeworks. And I kept doing that for almost 2 to 3 years during high school. That was intense. We only have off on Fridays and Saturday, and sometimes even on Fridays we have basketball practice. The gym doesn't stop. Friday, Saturday, I still go to the gym because it opens on weekends. When I went to university, there was my classes in the morning from 8 to 12, and my work starts at 1 p.m. I have to drive from university to my workplace, work from 1 to 10 p.m. Then at 10 p.m. I have to leave and be at the gym at 10:30. Finish from the gym around 12:30 midnight. Drive home 12:30. Reach home, shower, change, eat, and sleep. And I have to wake up again at 6 a.m. And I did that for like 3 years in a row.
What was your biggest achievements?
Biggest achievement in term of what? As a career or as personal, like personally, because you can differentiate between both.
Personally.
Biggest achievement, and the first one was my English. Okay. Back in high school, I didn't speak or read or write any English almost whatsoever. Anything that what we call is a very, very, very basic English, like hi, how are you? You okay? And with a Bahraini accent as well, which is a funny one. Like the minute you hear somebody speaking, like for example, you speaking it now, it's a little bit, I'll say cracked with all due respect. When you say it's cracked English or Arabic English, majority of people does that. The achievement comes behind it with a story. Back in, it was I think second year of my high school, and I wanted, I had an idea, or like you said, a dream. You want to socialize with more people. We stay in a neighborhood where there's a lot of Europeans and English speakers in our area. So out of curiosity, I was like, I want to also speak English. I also wanted to learn. But there was the how. How should I do that? How can I speak English? I'm in a government school. Nobody speak English in a government school. Almost even the English teacher, trying their best, basically, I would say. They know English, with all due respect to all teachers, okay? But they could do better. So there was a library in Budaya Avenue or Budaya Main Road. We call it Sharda Al Budaya. There's a library. I think it's closed from there. They have 2 branches, but I think the one in Budaya is closed a few years ago.
Do you remember the name?
Bookland?
Bookcase, I think.
I don't remember the name.
In Sar?
exactly. No, it's in Budaya Road.
Ah.
It was opposite to Harley Davidson showroom. Was next to Husain and that road. So I one day, all in one day, just decided, okay, because we passed by through that shop every day in the school bus, and I see the library and I see it because we stuck in the traffic. You know, after school traffic is madness. And one day I decided I want to go there and I want to buy a book. I was 17. Okay, 16, 17 years old. I took my bicycle. It's not exactly my bicycle, it's my brother's bicycle. I took his, and the only thing I had in my pocket was 3 dinars. Okay, I don't know how much a book cost. I don't know what I'm expecting. I don't know what's gonna be there. So after school, I took the bike, I went to the shop. There was a nice Indian guy in the front reception. The minute you open the door, you see the library is so cozy. It feels like home. Like imagine you going home and to your living room and you enter the door and it's like that coziness. That's how that library felt like. He asked if anything he can help with. He was speaking in English, but I didn't understand him. So I told him, just looking. Okay. He spoke a little bit. He speak Urdu, and I spoke with him a little bit Urdu because Bahrain majority we speak Urdu, which is weird for an Arabic country that speak Arabic and English majority. Most of the time. Urdu comes from the other foreign, the majority of foreign employees that works in Bahrain, which they take almost like, I don't know, 500,000 people almost here that speak Hindi, Urdu, and many other languages. I was looking through the shelves of the library. So let me explain it to you. It's like the first floor is just like shelves, cabinets of books and books everywhere. And there's a stairs take you to the second floor, which has a lower ceiling. It's like a scene from a movie. I remember it like it's still like yesterday. Don't know what I was looking for. I have no idea what I was looking for. So I was judging the book by its cover, and I was looking what is more interesting in those shelves that looks interesting. I don't even know how to read the title. Went to the book. The first book I grabbed was a book called You Can Win by Shavi Kahira. Is an Indian author. And that book changed my life. It's a book about self-esteem, attitude, behavior, and discipline. It all shaped what I am today, basically. The story comes in, I couldn't read. So I just bought a book, I don't read. The second book, I took the book and I went to the reception. And the Indian guy said, the receptionist said, he gave me a ball, khazaf, something like that, ball with the folded papers, and he shook the ball and said, pick one. And I picked one, and it was like I think it was a discount. Was a discount on it. The book was like 2.5 dinar. And I had 3 dinars in my pocket. The book was 2.5 dinar. And he gave me something I think was a discount or buy one, get one free. I don't exactly remember in that point. But I think it's a discount. So he asked me to choose another book if I want. Because I told him I only have 3 dinars. The second book I bought was a story I think it's a movie now. It's called The Great Gatsby. It's a amazing movie if you've seen it. It's an amazing book as well. The book, the first one, is called You Can Win by Shavi Kahira, an Indian author. Every day from my high school to the house, I spent 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes translating every single word in that book for a year.
It is very difficult.
Yes. You are in a school bus. You know, it's government school bus, the yellow buses, and you have like 3 other guys sitting next to you, 3 other guys playing cards in the bus, 2 guys smoking in the back seat. Not encouraging smoking. It was intense. I'm just sitting there. Like, imagine. I'm in a government school bus. A lot of naughty kids, I would say, with all due respect to all my friends as well. I'm reading the book. I'm having the book on my leg. I'm translating everything on the phone I had. I had like a Samsung S4 or something like that. Samsung Grand, whatever it was called. And I was using Google Translator to translate every word. And when other people see you, oh, he's holding a book, he's a nerd, what do you think you're doing? And everybody starts laughing at you. But the more you do it, they start laughing at me for like 2 months. People throw me with water bottles in the bus from the back seat to my head. That didn't stop me from reading. The last semester of high school, you know, when we do school project, you just copy paste stuff from Google. That's what most people used to do. So for the English project, I told my teacher, I will do the project by myself. I will write it, and I wanted to present it. I want to present the project. So I wrote about self-esteem and discipline from the book, like referencing the book and the book quotes in like 3 pages to stand in front of a class and do it. So the day of the presentation came in, the teacher said, nobody need to present, etc. But I insisted. I worked on it. I want to do it. Remember, my English is not very good. I can barely speak it. So I stood in the front of my class, which includes my friends, my current friends, my past friends. And I stood there holding an A4 paper, reading about self-esteem and discipline and attitude in a very cringiest way ever you can even imagine. People were laughing at my current friend were laughing at me I'm showing off, I'm trying to speak English, and my English is very bad, your pronunciation is wrong, and everybody made fun of me. I kept doing that, and I read it through. Then when I graduated and decided to work during university, I switched completely to English. Literally. In one day, I was like, no more Arabic. Just with family and friends. When I enter the house, when I call my family, my siblings, my parents, I speak Arabic with them. My friends, close friends, I speak Arabic with them. But majority of the time, I speak English. My phone changed to English. My texting, my typing, my writing, all switched to English. My mind switched to English. When people, I think you might thought about this or asked yourself this before. Does the Arabic people that speaks English think in an Arabic way or an English way? Right? So, no, I think in English, which is weird. Like now, everything goes in my head is completely in English, but I haven't forgotten my Arabic, obviously. I spoke with you in Arabic before the podcast, and I still speak with in Arabic most of the time. But if you noticed, when I wrote you in WhatsApp, I don't think I wrote even one single Arabic word. Right? Majority was English. So that's, to answer your question, that was my biggest achievement, is English, because it opened the door to every single culture and nationality in this planet Earth that we love. So, you shake hands with a lot of people. If you think you can just speak Arabic and reach to everybody, try another more languages. Try Urdu, try English, try Japanese, Russian, Tagalog, Mandarin, you name it. Kenyan. Sorry, not Kenyan, Swahili. It's Swahili, yeah.
Somalia language.
No, Swahili is it's an African language. Swahili, they speak it in Kenya, Africa, majority of them. Yeah.
What are your most important memories from your previous career life?
Memories into a career life. Say, now this is going to be very interesting. I had the honor and the pleasure and the coincidence to get the first job and to work with the amazing person as the CEO of that company. And I think he was the investor as well. I'm not exactly sure. The privilege of working with him to this day is an honor to me. I can't say no to that guy. Even if he calls now, I usually can't say no to him. I do my best because I feel like I owe him. I don't owe him anything, but I feel it in me that I owe him because I learned every single thing from that person. Because he is good at triggering me a little bit in the direction that I also wanted to go in that direction. So if you had, I'll give you an example. If you had a person and you want to shape that person like a kid, if you have a son, if you want to shape that son to be you, and the son doesn't want to say no, and he wants to be like you, or he will even want to be better as himself, and you show him the direction without giving him instruction. That was my relationship with him almost. He just say something that's very mysterious and it's like, do this, like do a case study. I don't know how to do a case study, for example. I don't know how to do editing. I don't know how to do a video shoot. I don't know how to do marketing. So instead of me saying, I don't know, I say, I'll learn and I'll come do it. I'll do it. But I'll learn how to do it as well. And in the process of learning, he also supports. It's like he showed me the direction, show me the resources, show me which website is the right one for the knowledge I'm trying to get, which books, which courses. One of the most important thing he said, and I quote this as he said, because I was an athlete, he said, and he saw the potential in me, basically. He said, don't just train your muscles, but train your brain, because your muscle is a brain. Sorry, your brain is a muscle, not your muscle is a brain.
Yeah, you are right.
You have to train that one. I was, as I said earlier, I was not good at remembering stuff. I was not good at school. I was not good at homework. I was terribly failing on exams. Even though I have an exam after literally like 10 days from now. No, not 10 days. 7 days from today, I do have an exam. For a certification that I've been studying for almost 6 months now. When I say now I'm studying, I already graduated a few years ago. It's mind-blowing. I don't even like to study. But what he said, don't just train your muscles, train your brain. And that triggered one thing. If you know something, if you learned about something, you are better when you practice doing it. and you start building the knowledge, building the brain with, okay, what is that? Why? What? How does this mic work? And then curiosity started to open up. How these podcasts are being recorded, how these podcasts is being created, how is this lovely place is being manufactured, what's the logistics behind it. So that's triggered the entire knowledge into business operation and business models, best practices in every industry. So then I chose the most difficult one in Bahrain, which is a sport business, because I loved to do sport, but I was not a good athlete to be like a premium. There's no future in almost in Bahrain if you are a sport athlete. Almost none. It's very difficult. It's like 1 in a trillion or 1 in decade to be an athlete that leaves from this, that plays here, gets sold to play abroad, become professional. You don't see that every year. You don't see that every 10 years. That's very difficult. That's where we hype the things up now, okay, to get stuff. That's all done about me. Now we have to talk about this industry that I came today to talk with you about. It's the sport industry in Bahrain and how that economically impact this country and the surrounding around Bahrain. But let's see what other questions you have as well before we go through that.
Where did the idea of setting up a company and Sportiva application came from?
No, I just told you earlier. It's so the idea was there. Took 30 minutes. Think about it. Plan a short plan. It was like literally an A4 paper, not an A4 paper. It's like an Excel sheet. I just put the task necessary, the resources, and what could its outcome or lead to. If it doesn't work, it does not cost much. If it works, I'll say Alhamdulillah. But the idea is I did a couple of events in the past in some sports, like water sports, for example, rock climbing. We just had a rock climbing competition hosted by the Crag in Zallag Gravity. And majority of Bahrain rock climbers are there, and some came from Saudi as well. Congratulations to all the winners. Some of those sports, some people haven't heard about. I managed those events. I created those events. But there is the idea of Sportiva as a booking application, as an event management, like a ticketing system, came from is there is competitors, there's other people does it, but they are not doing it the right way that I think it should be done as a business owner or as a sport manager. As a sport business manager, to be specific. Because I wanted to utilize a tool that can help me in the future, in future events, in future investment in and outside Bahrain. And that's why this idea came in. I was like, I have to do it. Other people are not very good at it, but they make good money from it. So I had to do something. It does not take much to take an action. It's live now, so yeah.
So, do you have expansion plans at the level of GCC countries and also international?
So see, the app is not centered on Bahrain only or GCC. So when you build a business in mind, this is what Bahraini does, what Arab usually do. I'll say Bahrainis because I am Bahraini. When they create an idea, or they create a business concept. They just they look at this small lovely island we call Bahrain, Mamlakat al-Bahrain, and they just surround themselves by a huge bubble, and they say, okay, this is the limit. Okay, they say Bahrain is the limit, like this borders, because we are surrounded by sea. They just look at it this way. When it comes to GGC or MENA region, any other Bahraini business, then the minute you leave the causeway is literally 20 minutes from here. 20 minutes you are into Saudi Arabia, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Millions of people lives there. The amount of competition is ridiculous at any scale. Small, international, intermediate, enterprise level, with a budget of millions, maybe trillions in dollars or dinars. No, Sportiva is an international brand to be. It's not centralized about one person or one individual or one specific geographic location. We are trying to build this, we're trying to develop this app to be user friendly, both for the business owners or event managers or the users. To be exactly frank with you, I'm trying to build a brand or a platform that's for you to take no hustle into listing your facility or listing your upcoming event and selling tickets into that event through the app with much less effort. You don't have to call us in many ways. You don't have to send emails to get listed. You don't have to fill up plenty of forms. You don't have to sign contracts, all done through the application. You fill up for example, if you have a facility, you fill up the information, you submit it. We send you one document to fill, which is very basic: name, address, if it's a commercial, your registration, and your signature. And with one click of a button, it's already approved and uplisted into the Sportiva app. When it comes to event, same thing. But I'm saying this because I've gone through experiences. If you try to go through any other companies or applications to get listed, that'll take you some time and headache and negotiation and drama. We are very open. Even the prices, the commissions, if there's commission, the the online transaction fees, the service fees, all that is very clear. We're trying to keep it open. Straight ahead, straightforward price, straight ahead development, straight ahead support on a 24-hour basis. That's what Sportiva is about. It's a dream. It will take a few years, but take first step, baby steps.
The most important question in this program: do you encourage young people to start and focus on the private business only, or combine between business and career work?
For young people out there, as a, like, let's say, how young, like fresh graduate you're talking about?
Yes.
If you're a fresh graduate, I would recommend to find a mentor and find a job first. Don't start a business, because first, you don't have money to start a business. If you're a fresh graduate, you're going to take money from here and there, or you're going to take the biggest risk, take a loan, or take the second biggest risk and risk other people investment, which is you bring investors, or pitch for a angel investor. That's a different story. But for young people, I highly recommend and highly encourage, build your knowledge get a mentor, because when you get a mentor, you will learn every single thing. You'll learn how these businesses or how this industry that you are interested at is working. Oh, and get a mentor in the industry that you think you might be interested in or you have a passion about. So a mentor is priority, not the job, maybe. Mentors sometimes take, they take fees, I would say, to mentor you. But if you don't have the money and if you don't have the know-how, I would say go for a mentor. If he asks for money, for fees, you can tell him, I will work for you for free for that mentor. Make sure it's a good one, good reputation in the industry, has many years of experience, and make sure he does not have only good or successful businesses. Make sure that he also have some businesses that he failed at. How many businesses did he close? How many idea did it failed for that person to be who he is or she is? So find a mentor. Yeah. But what is the difficult part here is our lovely people in Bahrain or Arabs, they don't like to work for free. I'm not saying work your entire life for that individual for free, and don't work for a very long time for free, but don't put the money as you fresh graduate, don't put the money or the income or the salary as a first priority, but think about the knowledge you're gaining as well. Does not matter how much written in that contract, but if you don't get any knowledge, you're cooked outside. So get a mentor, work for a little bit time, even if it's volunteering or working for free, even fixing his desk, even fixing the papers and his printing machine. If you get into that office, if you just listen to what other people say or what other people think, how things should be done or should not be done, or how things are, business work, you'll be in a different story. Like you will never be the same as yesterday.
You must be better than yesterday
It's a must. Yeah.
and previous year.
Yes. Yeah. So if you worked with that mentor for, let's say, 3 months, you worked for that mentor for 3 months, and let's say you had some ideas and you're not afraid to share those ideas. What do you think that mentor will say or that individual will think about you? You'll think you have some ideas. You'll think those ideas could be achievable. If you or somebody came and if I am in the position that I am capable of putting those ideas into life, like an organization, for example, and somebody comes to me and is like, hey, let's say, why don't we do this or that and this and that as a business concept, for example, or as a collaboration? And I'll tell that person, yeah, that's a clever idea. Let's work on it. Do you want to take initiatives? Let's start. Why not? That person will be motivated. That person will bring this idea to life. But if you, as an individual, work with a mentor and you do the same thing, you bring those ideas into life and you actually execute in a good way, and maybe sometimes in a revenue generating way, what do you think gonna happen? You're definitely gonna get a job. Are you gonna get a raise? Are you gonna get a bonus? Are you gonna get something? If you don't get anything, you get a letter of recommendation or a letter of achievement or something like that. If you don't get anything, you'll get the knowledge. Knowledge is a key. So that's answering to your question with mentors, with a fresh graduate and starting into business. Get a mentor, because if you decided to go through business in any way in your life, I just want to say something. It is a very disgusting business. It's a very disgusting environment. It's very brutal. Um, you want to have life, man. It's pretty rough. It's pretty tough. So, yeah, it's not easy. Not as people think it is. Have you sleepless night, more reading, the scaredness, like you get scared all the time. Like, will this podcast work? Will this interview work? You just ask yourself the same question. Would you, as watching from your screen, thinking that your next step or next achievement or your next project will work? You always have this doubt in you, but the only way you're gonna find out is, try. Because why not? So you see, you just have to try.
Yes, you're right. Let's talk about your life as a human being. What were the most difficult moments in your life?
The only difficult thing in my life was, um, let's say, going back home injured and not to show any pain in front of my mother or my family. I'm talking about like a dislocated shoulder, broken fingers, many other injuries. To go home, I've injured playing a lot of sports. When I get injured, for example, volleyball, when I broke one of the fingers, had to go home and show no pain, go through the house, go to my room, and not to show anybody any pain. Um, moved the spine a little bit. Had to go through a lot of drama. Cannot drive, couldn't stand straight, and been a lot of very crying nights. There's been nights where like just pain and pain and painkillers, just painkillers for weeks. Um, yeah, it was just that's the one of the most difficult parts. The second one is telling my mother I'm doing something crazy. I don't usually tell her I'll do scuba diving or I'm gonna go climb a mountain. I do it after, and usually my siblings find out, then they tell her. Then after the heat already dissipated, and she can't take it because I've done it. I came back alive, and that's how it goes. That was the difficult part. Is just, mothers are always concerned about their kids. Um, that's a mother nature. Say hi to every mother. Say thank you. Love your mothers.
Sayed, what is your message to the creative, youthful people of Bahrain who has the creative visions and ideas, but they don't know how to invest the time and efforts effectively and efficiently?
See, when you are creative, your mind is going here and there, here and there. You have ideas everywhere. You have sketches everywhere. You have concepts everywhere. Start with one thing. Get a paper and pen and write it down. You might have hundreds of ideas. You might have thousands of ideas as a creative person to get things started. But see, Abu Ali, you don't want to start on an idea that does not, make you a profit or make you an income or useful. Here's the thing. Get an A4 paper. Write everything in it. Every idea you have in mind. Painting, playing piano, coaching, mentoring, and everything into that one A4 paper. When you do that, take the A4 paper, second A4 paper, write everything that you are good at from everything that you are creative in, write everything that you are good at. Then this list will go from 100 to almost a 40 or 50 that you are good at. Circle what you are really, really, really good at. You think you can achieve and exceed. You'll go down to a 10 creative things or 10 hobbies or 10 skills. Even cooking, some guys that could end up as a chef, as very talented chefs. So circle the things you're good at, and from those 5, 10 things, 10 things, look at them, or like 5 things, let's say in this example. See what in those 5 things that if you work on it, there will be people are willing to pay you for it from those 5 things. And that thing that people are willing to pay you for it, that's your that's your dream, that's your goal, that's what your purpose in life. If people are willing to pay for that, that will be your purpose in life. Do that thing and put everything in it, and you have to believe in it, but don't believe too much, because sometimes it's not the right time.
What's your message for Studio Bahrain for art production and Horizons podcast program management?
See, as a message to podcast is always this: keep it clear, keep it simple, have it more friendly, change the vibe a little bit than what most other podcasts do. Have it like this, casual. I didn't prepare for this. He was having all his questions, all his in the tablet. Oh yeah, there's the guy that was in your podcast, the previous
Husain
one.
Lulu.
Husain Lulu. He was a basketball player.
Yes.
It was a very interesting story. I am not a big fan of being in podcasts before. This is, I think, my first time in a podcast. So his interview or his episode with you was interesting. The triggery part that most people haven't. I don't know him personally. I met him a few times. He's a lovely guy, by the way. Very good team building instructor. To be honest, I met him a couple of times in the team building sessions. But in his basketball career, he was a good player, and I think he's still a good basketball player. In my industry, which is sport business or sport business management, to see a talent like that goes to waste or basically fades is a shame. It makes me sad every day, every year. The amount of uneducated, undeveloped sport industry in this country drives me crazy every day. And to be frank with you, it comes to many ways. I can point fingers on everybody and say this, and that, and not to come up with a solution. But what I do with Sportiva is trying to bring a solution to something, even if it's a small thing, even if it doesn't work, at least I try. Let's talk about sport a little bit, okay? Sport in Bahrain is going through a disaster. This is what I see from my point of view. But a disclaimer that everything I say is my own words. I don't speak on behalf of any entity, any federation, any company. This is just me. I don't speak on anybody's behalf. So, since I said that, this sport industry in this country is going on a downhill in very many ways in the past few years. The other countries surrounding us have developed crazily, like Qatar, Saudi, UAE, Kuwait. And the difference between our sport industry or sporting level and this country and that country, these countries are huge. The gap is big. Like, look at any other clubs in the GGC. Look at their budget. Look at their management. Look at the level of media they produce, the entertainment they produce, the event scales they produce, the World Cup they managed. Let's not forget that. Qatar hosted, it's an Arabic country, hosted the FIFA World Cup in Doha. So to that matter, Bahrain is a very small country. It should have been more developed. We have a strong athletes. We have amazing, dedicated athletes that are willing to do the work and willing to invest into themselves to develop. But the question is, what's missing? What do you think it's missing? Let's say Husain Lulu, for example, is a good athlete, good everything. Why, with all the respect to him and the clubs he played for, I love Husain. He's a lovely guy, by the way. For somebody in similar to his situation, I don't have the right to speak on his behalf or any other clubs again. Why clubs that have not helped people on those situations? Why clubs didn't actually invest and developed those athletes from a younger age or a middle age or late age? Why? I'm asking you this. This is a conversation.
I think this is a very difficult question and we cannot answer.
You can answer. I'll give you the right. I'll give you what I think it's an answer.
Yeah, what is the secret? Tell me.
It's not a secret. It's very obvious. When you have a country that's majority of us are athletes. Majority of Bahrain, I'll not say athlete, I'll say in good health. We like sport. We like to move. We like to do an exercise. And we like to stay healthy as well. Bahrainis, at least the past few years, the amount of obesity is increasing. The overweight people are just growing up more and more. It's like your body, you have to work out a little bit as well.
Yes.
You have to go to the gym. So putting in the health, eating healthy.
Yes.
There's a lot of family that has changed their eating behavior to be in more healthier way. Either influenced by social media or by normal day lives, basically. So why I think the sport industry is lower standards than other countries, and why clubs have not invested in such athletes that are willing to invest in themselves by themselves, is because we don't have the right people that manage those entities or those communities or those clubs or those federations. Some might have the background, they have the sport experience. That's a different thing. Playing sport is different than managing sport. Playing sport is different than coaching. Yeah, Bahrain has a lot of coaches. And Bahrain has a lot of players at every single sport. Everywhere you can find a player. You can find a coach anywhere. Can you find a manager? I dare you. Find somebody that's Bahraini, specialized in sport management, like I do. Which is the thing that I decided to do a few years ago. I decided to be in this level, and that required me learning and reading about a lot of sport rules and regulations and laws, because there is something called sport law as well, if you don't know. Like lawyers, they have the government law, there is sport laws as well. Events and executions and event executing and event crowd management and majority of other stuff that I can speak with you for days with and days about. So those lack of talented people or certified people or knowledgeable people in that industry. Because the main university in Bahrain that graduates people in the sport industry, they are usually graduate two type. They graduate athletes, three types almost. Athletes, people graduate from that university, becomes an athlete, or coach, or a teacher. They don't have any related to accounting, sport marketing. At least now, recently I heard they will add those curriculums into their material. So when you don't have the right foundation to produce such people, to hire, to run those clubs or those facilities, here we have lack of knowledge and a gap. Like there is a gym here. I passed by 2 gyms already this morning. I guarantee you, by like 1,000,000%, if we walk out from here and we go to see that whoever's sitting in the reception, he doesn't speak English, that's one. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying that you could have more customers if you spoke English, but we are in an Arabic area. Majority in this area are the Bahrainis, so English is not exactly necessary. But lacking basic financial skills that's bad. Lacking many other skills like computer skills is also very bad. The people that graduate from that university, okay, not the majority, but some graduate with lower skills in computer skills and marketing, designing. They don't understand because they were not taught, they not have been into the right environment to achieve. Compare that with Saudi Arabia, and the entire script just changed. Just cross the border, like 25-minute drive from here to Saudi, to Al Khubariya, Sharqiya area, and see how many people in the sport industry. Hundreds, and they are very talented, like scary talented. Graduated from university and they already know what I accumulated in 7 years. That's the scary part. So when you have this gap in the sport facilities or sport clubs that does not know how to take the full potential of that facility, here you are lower in player performance and athlete performance, because you know how to coach him in some level, or the basic way of coaching, but what about equipment? What about technologies? That's the sport industry. When you have lack of talented people or knowledgeable, they don't have the right knowledge to run those to its facilities, to its full potential. And even if today I want to go and work in those entities, they don't hire me. Why do you think so? Why they don't, like, you see, a fully potential person have achieved actually with an impressive resume in a younger age, and I'm still young. To see those, if I go to a gym and it's like, I want to manage this gym and I want to work here, or I want to work in this club or that sports center, they don't hire me because they don't understand the need for this position or this career industry. It's like, okay, there is an investment, there is this club or this facility, and there's expenses, sales, marketing, khalas. Our marketing is not the same. It's different. It's a different category, different caliber when you talk about sport marketing. If you have marketing, you have audience. If you have audience, you have entertainment, or that's what the sport is. That's why people watch sport or attend events, and that creates impact on people's happiness, people boredomness and interactive and life. If it's an event or like just a championship, for example, or a small tournament, like a rock climbing tournament was there last Friday. Lovely people gathering. Entire day was like a picnic for the entire family. There's kids and adults, rock climbing, and people competing. It's just a lovely event. For a dragon boat or a rowing sport, had hundreds of people on the beach, on the shore, enjoying a view, enjoying a race, and that brings people to spend on those areas. And that's what creates economical impact on those areas. If you have more people to come to a certain area that was initiated or enhanced by a sporting activity, that brings more to the joy of it and more economic changes. And with economic impact, you would have others that also interested in those audience in this area. For example, let's say I created an event and I invited this coffee shop, lovely one, amazing, to come to sell their product or sponsor the event. Let's say they want to sponsor or they just want to have a booth and sell their product into a sporting event, a refreshing juice. So that's create another business opportunity for another individual. Then what do you think about printing, t-shirts, uniform, branding? If you are a marketing company then or a studio, that's a good business for you, because I'm gonna call you to come to take to cover the entire event, the entire competition, the entire race if it is, and that moves the economical wheel on and on and on. And if you have less events in a year, your economic is just going slow and slow and slow, other than people just sitting doing nothing. And the amount of people watching sport nowadays into our country, that into the leagues in this country, is being reduced every year. We lose more people than we gain. Like the newer generation, it's they don't even play football, which is scary, man. Yeah. How many kids now you go to school? How many kids you seen with a broken arm? How many kids you see nowadays with a broken arm or a broken leg from playing sport? None. Go to any middle school or high school. Do you see broken arms, legs? No.
No, we cannot see like this.
They don't. Which is not good. You have to have more broken bones and legs so you can have some stories to tell your grandkids.
Sayed, what is your message to viewers through camera?
Read. Buy a book. Get a mentor. Start any crazy idea you have. If it's too big, majority of people will tell you it's too big of a dream, start doing it and show them what's a big dream looks like. If it does not align with your family vision about you and other stuff, maybe try a little bit step by step. Get them eased to it. Like I did sport slowly, step by step. Then I go to the more dangerous stuff, more traveling as well, deeper down in the ocean, high up in the mountains. So if you have an idea, if you have a concept, take initiative. Take a small steps by step. Always ask for help. Always ask why, ask how. Don't be afraid. Call Studio Bahrain, Studio Bahrain. Call anybody, message. Don't be shy. Pick up the phone and call. Don't just send a WhatsApp message. And if you have an opportunity, just take it. What are you scared for? If you're young, risk it all. That's what I say to people.
We would like to thank Mr. Sayyid Hamza Ahmed for his participation today in our program. I'm your host, Husain Yusuf from Studio Bahrain for Art Production. I wish you a good day. Goodbye. الراحة تبدأ من المكان الصح ومن أول خطوة تحس بالفرق، لأن الراحة لازم تنعاش مو بس تنشاف. نسمع لك، نفهمك، ونفصلها على ذوقك. تفاصيل تختارها قطعة بنفسك. تشوف النتيجة قبل لا تصير واقع. مو بس مفروشات، تجربة راحة متكاملة.
هذا البرنامج برعاية